Hello, my name is Angel Holmes, and I'm a student at the University of South Carolina, Beaufort. And today I want to talk about the pros and the cons of being raised by your grandparents. I know I get a lot, you're so lucky to be raised by your grandparents. You have it made. I wish I can do the same. And let me tell you, it is not easy. First off, I'll start off by saying the pros. The pros about being raised by your grandparents is that there's always a meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's a plus. Um, the love, the love is so warm. Something that you can't explain. It's like the best feeling in the world knowing that your grandparents always see the good in you. Like you're never wrong in their eyes. If anything, they won't say that you're wrong. They'll say, well, you should have done this. And there's always ways to improve yourself or make yourself better. The love is something like you can't get it from no one else but your grandparents. It's just soothing, and it's the best in the world. Knowing that your grandparents always have your back, and you're just a little angel in their eyes. Also, another good pro about being raised by your grandparents is that no matter what you do, they support you. Like me now, I've changed my major about 1,000,000 times, and they still say, whatever you do, I support you. I have your back. It's just support, support, support. And in this generation, we need support. We need love. It's a lot that we go through as young adults, and to have your grandparent behind your back supporting your every move is just a blessing. Another great pro about being raised by your grandparents is knowing that when no one else is around, they are. Like, they will always be there for you no matter what. Like, you could leave and say, I'm not coming back, and they'll still be right there, like literally right behind you. You don't get that a lot from your parents, just because the fact that they're like, they're so like, they're still maturing themselves. Like, they can be in their 30s and their 40s, but they're still maturing themselves. So it's just like your grandparents, whereas they already been through it. They raised their kids, you're raising other kids. It's just a lot. It's better knowing that your grandparents is there versus your parents, because they don't understand. Sometimes it's just like they just don't get it. Whereas your grandparents, they understand, they know, they support. Now, the cons about the cons of not having your parents there, and this is personal for me because I've been raised by my grandparents. The cons is that knowing that your mom, like when you want to have a certain conversation with your mom and she's not there, and it's like you want to share stories with her, you want to be able to relate because she's your mother. You want to have some type of connection or a bond between you and your mom, and then when you don't have it, it's just like, well, okay, well, I don't want to talk to it about with my grandparents. So it's just like, what do you do? I mean, your grandparents is always there to listen, but it's just some things you just wish you had a mom to talk about or talk to it about. And that's like my biggest downfall with my mom is there's no connection, there's no bond, there's no, hey, how you doing? And sometimes people don't realize that that hurts. When you want to talk to your mom about things, or even try to say, like, I wish my mom did this or my mom did that. That's kind of painful. And not only my mother, but my father as well. Everyone says, oh, I'm daddy's little girl, and I was getting my way with my daddy. And then I think back, like, well, where's my father? He's in my life, but there's no bond, there's no connection. Not only that, but the family things, like, you see on TV, you have the mom, the dad, the daughter and the brother, and probably a dog, and you just be like, wow, I wish I had those things. I wish they were here. I just wish. And so the con of not being in a household with your parents is probably being able to look back when you're older, being able to look back and say that my mother did this, my father did that. And that's probably like the con, because your memories, like your childhood, you're always going to have a childhood, whether it's good or if it's bad. And to not have your parents with you, of course it's a bad thing, because you can't tell your kids what your mom did or what your dad did. But what you do have is amazing grandparents who raised you, and that's what matters most, because they raised you right, and you can do anything. Being raised by people doesn't determine who you are as a person. It's just all on you. You have to decide what you want to do with your life and how you're going to do it. And that's the end.